I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the democracy for which it stands. Hold on. Doesn't the pledge say to the republic for which it stands? We pledge allegiance to the American Republic, not the American democracy. The distinction is vital, rendered all the more important since there are many in our country today who believe America is, or at least should be, a democracy. Today, we'll explore the main difference between these two forms of government. We'll see the danger of pure democracy, and finally, we'll examine the design of our government that most definitely makes America a republic. Difference, danger, and design. First, the difference. What is the main difference between democracy and a republic? According to Diane Diamond, writing for HuffPost in 2014, a democracy is pure majority rule. The majority is the highest authority and as such can do whatever it pleases. In a pure democracy, if 51% of the people voted to imprison, say, every left-handed person, it would be done, since the majority is the highest authority. In a republic, on the other hand, the law is the highest authority, and even the majority may not violate it. If 51% of U.S. citizens voted to imprison every left-handed person, the supreme law of our land, as written in the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution, would prevent it. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. In a republic, the right to liberty, protected by the law, would prevent the left-handed from being imprisoned regardless of the will of the majority. Now that we've established the main difference between democracy and republic, the rule of the majority versus the rule of law, let's examine the danger of pure democracy. In a democracy, protections for the inalienable rights given by God to every individual, life, liberty, and property, exist only at the good pleasure of the majority. Our founding fathers were well aware of this danger. Thomas Jefferson stated, "Democracy is nothing more than mob rule, where 51% of the people may take away the rights of the other 49. Benjamin Franklin agrees. Democracy is two wolves and a lamb voting on what they're going to have for lunch. When the majority is the highest authority, the minority is not protected. The French Revolution provides a sobering example of this danger. As Hannah Harland explains in a 2018 article, the French Revolution replaced tyranny by the upper class with tyranny by a bloodthirsty mob. The rule of law was completely sacrificed, as once powerless peasants, acting in the name of the majority, took wild revenge for decades of oppression by aristocrats. This tyrannical mob trampled the rights of the people, especially the minority, sending countless to the guillotine based on the flimsiest of accusations, and ultimately creating a society of distrust, betrayal, and fear. Only when Napoleon took power and restored the rule of law was there peace. The French Revolution lays bare the dangers of pure democracy, tyranny by the majority, loss of inalienable rights, and mob rule. Because our founding fathers knew the difference between democracy and republic, and feared the danger of pure democracy, they designed the American government as a republic. Alexander Hamilton stated during the Constitutional Convention, "We are now forming a republican government. Real liberty is neither found in despotism or the extremes of democracy." Our founding fathers designed the Constitution to protect America from the extremes of democracy. Let's look at two key components of that design that make America a republic: the Electoral College and equal representation in the Senate. First, the Electoral College, the way in which we elect our president. The founders established the system in Article 2, Section 1 of the Constitution. Why? To fulfill a twofold purpose. First, and of lesser importance, it served as a means of electing the president before the age of electronic voting and high-speed transmission of information. This, many opponents claim, was its only purpose and is therefore no longer necessary. Nothing could be further from the truth. The second, and far more critically important function of the Electoral College was and is to give everyone in America a voice in the election, regardless of the population of their state. Simply put, the Electoral College ensures that the vote in North Dakota matters, that the vote in Montana matters, that the vote in Delaware matters. According to the World Atlas, the state of New York has nearly twice as many people as the 10 least populous states in the country combined. If the president were elected by popular vote, winning just half the people in New York would grant as many votes as winning 100% of the vote in each of those 10 least populous states. States like North Dakota, Wyoming, and Hawaii. Why would a president care about the interests of people in Wyoming? Why would a president campaign in Hawaii? Well, okay, it is Hawaii. But why would a president campaign in North Dakota? Without the Electoral College, he has no reason to. Our vote wouldn't matter. The abolition of the Electoral College would silence the voice of the North Dakota rancher, the Nebraska farmer, and the Wyoming small-town grocer, creating a government of, by, and for only the most populous states. Because of the Electoral College, however, all citizens have a voice, and those 10 least populous states have 32 electoral votes, while New York has only 29. Because of the Electoral College, presidents cannot spend their tenure in office catering only to the needs of people in one or two states. Because of the Electoral College, the vote of the entire country matters, and the interests of small-town Midwesterners are just as important as those of big city residents. The Electoral College serves as a check on the power of the most populous states, helping to preserve the delicate balance of America's republic. The importance of the Electoral College is clear. But what about the second component of our founders' design? Equal representation in the Senate. When the Constitution was first crafted, the United States was more a confederation of independent states than a country divided into 50 subsections. The Senate could be thought of as a governing body with equal delegation from each nation, similar to how the United Nations is today. This system of equal representation is both unique and vitally important. Despite its importance, however, it has come under attack in recent years. An article from thinkprogress.org claims that the Senate unfairly values citizens more or less based on the state in which they live, thereby violating the Declaration of Independence, which states that all men are created equal. The Senate, however, was based on the unique idea of equal representation for each state, irrespective of population. Without that core idea, it would simply become a second House of Representatives, where the most populous states already hold the majority of the influence. When advocating for senators to be apportioned based on population, people are really advocating for the abolition of the Senate. According to Encyclopedia Britannica, California has 53 representatives in the House. The 21 least populous states in the country combined have only 50. Without the Senate, those 21 states would be powerless to advance the interests of their citizens in the legislature. Imagine living in Nebraska, one of those 21 states, voting for your congressman and knowing full well that their voice and yours will be drowned out 17 times over by the 53 representatives of California alone. The Senate ensures that all states have influence in the legislature, whether they have more than 39 million people or less than 600,000. The Constitution was masterfully crafted to balance the power between more populous states and less populous states. Because of the House of Representatives, states with greater population have influence proportional to that population. And because of the Senate, even the least populous states have a voice in our legislature. Both houses are designed to serve a unique purpose. The abolition of equal senatorial representation would destroy the unique role of the Senate, deprive smaller states of a voice in our legislature, and compromise the checks and balances so integral to our Congress and our government. Difference, danger, and design. We've seen the difference between democracy and republic, the rule of the majority versus the rule of law. We've seen the danger of pure democracy. The inalienable rights of the people, especially the minority, are violated. And finally, we've seen the design of our government to protect the rights of minority and majority alike, the Electoral College and equal representation in the Senate. Our founding fathers knew the difference. Our founding fathers saw the danger. And our founding fathers designed the American Republic. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. May our flag always and ever stand for that republic.